Welcome to the round 3 injuries in the AFL. In this video, I'll try to cover all the injuries that I was able to see and all the injuries that have been reported on the AFL website. Before we get started, I am so close to 10,000 subscribers, so if you do like this content and you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and let's get to the first clip. In the first clip, we can see Bolton taps the ball forward. He and Brodie Grundy's knees collide, and Bolton goes down for the last 20 seconds of the match. And he doesn't really get up for quite a while. He does get up and shake people's hands, and at the end of the game you could see him hobbling along a fair bit. If it's just a simple knee on knee, he'll be back next week, no doubt, but there could be the possibility that there might be a little bit more to it. In the last 4 minutes, Travis Boak is fighting for the ball and he runs into his ruckman, and from the replay it didn't look like there was a huge amount of contact. I think the part where he starts holding his head is he gets the whiplash, his back of his head hits the ground. So it'll be interesting to see what Port Adelaide do with this. There's probably nothing more to it, but if this was earlier in the match, he probably would have gone off for a HIA and maybe a scat test. Chandler had both knees very heavily strapped, and in the second replay you can see why. His leg gets caught underneath him in the tackle. He did come back on and play again, so he might be alright, but due to the amount of strapping, he could be in quite a bit of pain this week, I reckon. Charlie Curnow went down in the fourth quarter and he was holding his ankle. He was limping a fair bit coming off, but he did come back on, so he must be alright. Bit of a scare for the Coleman medalist. Callum Coleman-Jones from North Melbourne has ruptured his Achilles. In the replay you can see that it doesn't really look like much. He just change of direction. He tries to get off with speed, and as he does that, his Achilles just goes. He lays down on the ground straight away, and you can see that he's in immense pain. He gets stretched it off and green whistles straight away, so that is not good. His season is over. This one was a little bit hard to spot, but it looks like Durham has dislocated his shoulder. I'll have to look into this one a little bit more unless the club or the AFL have actually released more information. The information that I've seen is a dislocation, so that means he will be out for quite a few weeks. The club will confirm just how long. I'm probably going to butcher this, but Tristan, Jerry and LDU's head collide at the end of the third quarter. Neither of them went off for a HIA or a scat test, so I'm assuming that the club doctors looked at it and were okay with what happened. But it's typically a bad sign when you see the player grabbing at his face. Usually indicates some sort of head injury. A perfectly legal marking contest, and Caleb Marchbank has been knocked out by his teammate. He does look a little bit dazed before, but then his teammate's hip comes down and hits him fair on the chin. From that, the club doctors and the team decided he would be the substitute. He was taken off, didn't take any further part. He will be missing for at least the 12 days.
He won't be staying out there, Caleb. That was a big hit.
And the concern, of course, with his history of injuries to the neck.
Wayne Miller from the Crows just can't catch a break. He goes for a marking contest, comes down and immediately grabs his right knee. The club has actually released information that he has torn his right patella tendon and he will miss the rest of the season. He just can't seem to catch a break. I wasn't able to find the actual footage of where this happened, but Mitch Lewis looks like he's going to be out for quite a few weeks as well, as the club has confirmed he has done a hamstring. They won't know until tomorrow when they perform some scans to see the severity of the hamstring injury, but you would expect it's going to be quite a while. Lachlan Murphy from the Crows, who was actually the sub for Miller, has injured himself as well as he's gone for a kick. It looks like he's hyperextended his knee. If you've ever done that, you know how painful that is and how weak the joint feels. It's yet to be confirmed by the club how long he will miss, but we expect it to be a few weeks. Nick Watson from the Hawks has injured his ankle in a late tackle. Unsure about the severity of the injury, but it doesn't look super bad. But doesn't mean that there could be some long-term injury. Let's just hope that it's not that bad. You'd hate to see the Wizard go down so early. Asava Radikalia went off for a little bit of time there when they were playing Melbourne, and just from this vision here it also looked like he did a Achilles, but he actually came back on and played the rest of the game, so I think he should be fine. He might just be a bit sore. Tom Lynch came down quite awkwardly and he was hobbling and limping for quite a bit. He did come off the ground and I think they restrapped his ankle. He did come back on and play the rest of the game, but as we know he's had many foot injuries, so let's hope this one doesn't keep him out for too long. Brandon Walker goes for the spoil and he lands on his back. It does look like his head hits the ground very slightly, but he takes quite a bit of time to get up. I think that's probably just because he's taken the wind out of himself, but he should be fine to play. I don't think he'll sustain a long-term injury from this one. And that's it for this week. Thank you again for watching. If you are new to the channel and you do like it, please get me to 10,000 subscribers. I'm trying to beat Egg Footy. Let's get there first. Thanks for watching.